We're going to talk about the Warriors and about LeBron. Let's start with Golden State. How would you describe your level of concern for the condition of the Warriors now, both on the court and off, Stephen A?
At 0. I'm not concerned about them at all. It's a roadblock. It happens. We understand what happened with Draymond and Kevin Durant or what have you. But when you're this great of a team, we measure you by what you do in April, May, and June, not what you do in November, particularly when, your superstar point guard, who is the greatest shooter we've ever seen in Steph Curry, has not been playing. Now, have Steph Curry been on the court with this team, then it would be a bit different. But considering the fact that he's off the court, combined with the drama that has taken place, I'm not concerned about them at all, not even in the slightest.
You agree with that, Jalen?
I agree with Stephen A. because the drama now in the Western Conference happens to be, and you're going to appreciate this, Mr. Smith, who makes it to the Western Conference Finals to face the Golden State Warriors? Because we know they're going to be there. Once Steph returns, they're going to get a healthy Boogie Cousins. This Warriors team will be just fine in the final season of Kevin Durant and Draymond.
So, Jalen, are you willing to admit Stephen A. was right when he said the Lakers will be the last man standing against Golden State?
Well, they ain't made it to the playoffs yet. They have not advanced past the first round, the second
Neither
round.
has
LeBron
Denver.
James' usage is really
Neither
high,
has
Stephen A.
Denver.
earlier in the year.
That's who you wrote about. See, you go with these run-on sentences and not answering the question that Greeny asked you. He asked you a question, and then you say, well, they haven't made the playoffs yet. Last time I checked, neither has Denver. So what are you talking about? The same is applicable to your pick to be better than the Lakers than it is to my Lakers. So don't escape the question. Don't moonwalk around it. Answer the man's question directly.
Well, Michael Jackson wasn't the first person to moonwalk. He just
It was James
popularized.
Brown.
Also not the answer to the question.
That's where I come in.
Also
right,
not
that is
answering
not
the
the
question.
answer to the question.
Stephen,
Exactly.
but I didn't want to skip over so easily your thoughts on Golden State. I understand they'll get healthy and all of that. But you think KD and Draymond can work this thing out together spiritually, emotionally, whatever word you want to attach to it, well enough that it will not be a problem for them through the season and into the postseason?
I don't think it'll be a problem for them this season. I think that Jalen is right. It's the last that we've seen of these two together on the Golden State Warriors for this season. You're going to go for it. You're going to try to win a third consecutive championship. You're going to try to three-peat because that's important to them, and I think that definitely is the case. But I think once the season is over, I think Kevin Durant is going to be gone. I don't know that for sure. I haven't spoken to him, obviously, but I'm telling you, I don't believe that he's going to be there after this season. And I think that everybody knew that coming into the season, which is what instigated the proceedings between ultimately Draymond and Kevin Durant. Draymond handled it wrong. He shouldn't have went at him in a huddle during a game leading into an overtime loss to bring something like that up along the lines of saying, why don't you get up on out of here right now? We don't need you. We won championships before you got here. We're going to win after you gone. That kind of thing. I think that was a bit excessive. But nevertheless, I think it speaks to the level of frustration that existed within the franchise to some degree because they walked into this season thinking that they were a band of brothers and they were together and they were going to be together for a very long time. And when Kevin Durant didn't, re-up for the long term, I think that and left indications, because you heard about the New York Knicks, heard about the Lakers and all of this other stuff, I think that rubbed some people the wrong way. And I think you saw the residue of that really come out and show itself. That's why Steph Curry came off the road, traveled with the team, even though he's obviously not healthy to play. Steve Kerr needs all the help that he can get right now. As great of a coach as he is, as accomplished as he is, sometimes you've got that kind of friction going on, and the coach is not enough. So I think Jalen is absolutely right. This is the beginning of the end for the Golden State Warriors, but they're so great that they're going to handle their business and close on a high note by winning the chip and then ending it that way.
Okay, so you guys agree on that. Let me go all the way back then to LeBron taking that last shot. Jalen, share with Stephen A. what you told us earlier this morning you think about that three LeBron took in basically garbage time last night.
So we've seen a couple of players do this throughout the basketball year. We saw Murray and Kyrie Irving get into it. We saw C.J. McCollum try to get to a round number. And now we see LeBron James, who has 48 points, and allegedly Lance Stevenson is the reason why he took the final shot. Stephen A., what I said earlier, I don't know if you were watching. This is a perfect example and continued residue of the fractured relationship between LeBron James and the Miami Heat front office, in particular, Pat Riley. This is why I believe LeBron James will have his jersey retired in Los Angeles before he has it retired in Miami. Things like this don't help.
No, I don't think. I think you're going a little bit too far there. Now, if this were 4 years ago or so, that would be different because Riley was definitely heated. Riley was contemplating retiring at that time, and it was LeBron James who inspired him to stay on board because he was determined to really show up and show out because he was offended that LeBron James had left the Miami Heat, particularly the way in which LeBron James handled it. There was a time when Pat Riley, if you know this story, Jalen, and Greeny for your purposes as well, LeBron James and his crew were in Vegas. Riles and his crew, including Alonzo Mourning, showed up to talk to LeBron James. And LeBron literally was over there playing Nintendo or whatever damn game he was playing with as Rich Paul talked to Miami. And Miami felt very, very disrespected. It got so uncomfortable to the point where at one point Alonzo Mourning approached LeBron and was like, "You are not going to disrespect that man like that." You know, there's a certain level of respect that Pat Riley is accorded and he deserves, and you need to show him the proper level of respect because LeBron was that dismissive. So that rubbed Riley the wrong way, but ultimately they got over it because, again, Pat Riley is so tight. He once was so tight with Dwayne Wade, and they clearly have mended fences. It's not the level of vitriol or animosity per se that once existed years ago. It's a lot better now than it was years ago, but again, it's not perfect. And I wouldn't go that far, though, to say that his number would be retired in L.A. before it's retired in Miami. He helped bring 2 rings and went to 4 straight finals. And you don't honor D. Wade and one day honor Bosh, but ignore LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's stupidity. And Pat Riley ain't stupid.